It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back. And guys, I know I was supposed to be live with RJ today, but RJ wasn't feeling so well. So I just want to start this off by saying, RJ, I hope you feel better. We always love having RJ, and sometimes we all need a break. Sometimes our bodies need a break. We just need a break. So let's just send all the positive vibes to RJ, and I say let's get started. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, get some more eyes in the room, and we have a lot to talk about today. Not only are we here to recap this week's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, but we're also here to talk about who LaToya is talking about failed marriage. This is messy. So we know that LaToya and Fallon aren't getting along, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. I just want to start off with the recap. Feel better, RJ. Oh, yeah, feel better, RJ. All right, I want to start off with the recap, and let's get started. 1 second. Here we go. All right, and I'm also going to drop the link in case anybody wants to call in and join too. You guys are more than welcome. Right. Okay, guys, so we start off this episode with Drew Sidora planning a trip to New Orleans. Now, we know this is a work trip for Drew, but I think it's going to be a good one. I mean, honestly, the way that it's looking, I feel like this is going to be a great rest of the trip after this. I don't know. I mean, it is starting off a little bit rocky, and it has a little bit to do with Kenya and the shade that's going around with the private jet, but let's just jump into it. Drew Sidora planned this trip, and she said her husband ended up getting them a private jet to take a girls' trip. And that's how it's supposed to be. Instead of Kenya kind of shading the rest of the group, sticking them on a Sprinter with no AC, Drew Sidora took them on a private jet with no bathroom. Listen, at the end of the day, it's only from Atlanta to New Orleans, so it's not like it's that far of a plane ride. I think it's probably maybe not even an hour, so it's not the end of the world. But I do want to say this. At least Drew Sidora extended the invitation to everyone for them to be able to bring their kids. So she extended the invitation, unlike Kenya, and she said, hey, ladies, if you'd like to bring your kids, you're more than welcome. One thing I don't get, though, is the women, none of them brought their kids. Only Kenya. Kenya was the only one for the second time to bring her daughter on the girls' trip, but no one else did. I mean, I'm a little bit shocked by that, but Porsha made a good point. She said at least the invitation was extended. However, this is a girls' trip, so I want to get lit. That's pretty much how she said it. Again, guys, as you come in the room, go ahead, hit that like button, but I do want to jump into the Kenya shade. So Kenya called the private jet bootleg, and I'm guessing that's because of the no bathroom. And all right. Again, after Kenya pointed out that she was the only one that had her kid, they end up arriving to New Orleans to the hotel. Once they get to the hotel, Kenya, Drew, LaToya, Cynthia, Porsha, Shamia, Marlo with her ridiculous Dolce & Gabbana glasses all get off the bus, and they're ready to get their rooms. Now, Drew Sidora wanted to do something fun for the rooms instead of just assigning everybody, as she feels, worst room to best room to worst room, whatever you want to call it. She gave the best room, the best suite in New Orleans, which is kind of hard to believe, to Cynthia. She said, listen, I know that I wasn't able to sing at your wedding, so I'm going to give you the best room. And for the rest of us, we have to do the booty bounce. If you can't do the booty bounce, then you're not getting the best room. Well, Kenya opted out of the booty bounce, and she said she's not going to downgrade herself for a room. Drew ended up giving her the worst room, and I do want to say this about this. Kenya didn't want to downgrade herself, especially because she had her daughter in front of her, and that kind of makes sense. Even though this was all just in good fun, it was playing around, and like Drew said, booty bounce, that's kind of a popular little dance there in New Orleans. Why is it a big deal? Well, I can kind of see both sides here, but again, Kenya opted out. She took her key, and then she went straight to the front desk and said, I want to upgrade my room. Now, that's exactly what she did, and Drew wasn't happy about that, but you can't shade her for that. Even though she ended up opting out, she had the smallest room, but she was the only one who had her little with her. She had her little daughter, and that doesn't really sound like it's conducive to a good space, a good healthy vibe when you get this kind of crap room and you're the only one with your daughter and the nanny, right? Hold on, drop this for you guys. case anybody wants to call in. I got a little flustered this morning only because the RJ thing last minute, I felt so bad and I had to kind of be like, oh no, not RJ, but it's okay. I brought my mirror of shade in honor of RJ. I want to keep this going really quick. Cynthia, though, again, got the best suite in New Orleans. Now, if you guys saw the suite, it was nice. I don't necessarily know if it was the best suite in New Orleans, though. Drew Sidora talks up a big game. I know she was in the game, but I don't know if she should keep talking the big game that she does. The private jet with no bathroom, okay, there was a little shade there. But then Cynthia getting the best suite, it's like, girl, you're setting a high, high bar. However, the rest of the women think that Drew's already doing a better job at planning this trip. And I kind of think so too. Robert was a help. Robert kind of hooked the ladies on him. Robert was the one who was sort of the concierge for the hotel. And I think the women wanted to steal him. They wanted to bring him home and use him as an assistant. I don't know what Kenya said. She's like, he would make a great assistant. But I don't know. I don't know about that. Moving on, though. They ended up going on a bike ride tour around New Orleans. New Orleans is such a fun place. I want to give a little bit of a backstory really quick. My first and only time in New Orleans, I was going to go on a cruise. I was taking a cruise out of Louisiana, and we had to stay the night in New Orleans. Now, this was before I came out to my family, but my sisters and my brothers, they decided, hey, let's go out on the town for one night. Well, after a couple drinks, we ended up at a gay bar, and I think I ended up dancing on the bar in my underwear, winning us a free tap. So I just want to say I'm the champion, and you're welcome, family. I got you guys a free bar tab, even at the expense of me having to dance on a bar in my underwear. So thanks, guys. You're welcome. I don't know. Well, moving forward, they end up stopping for food. One thing that I've always heard about New Orleans is that they have some of the best food ever, especially their Cajun food. Their seafood looks amazing. And it seemed like it would have been a good meal. I'm going to go ahead. Again, I have callers in the room. I'm going to go ahead and start first. I have 3 of you guys in the room. I'm going to start with Kim Pyre. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. I got a little flustered just for a little bit because it was a last minute kind of switch around and then trying to throw this together last minute. But
it's already busy when it's going right.
Yeah. It's already busy when it's going right. I like that. But yesterday, I bought a money tree. I didn't even know that was a thing. I went to Lowe's. I finally gave them a second shot. I bought a money tree and I stuck it in my living room. And I'm like, nobody's going to mess with my money. So this is right.
That's excellent. Yeah, I have a money tree too. I love it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Does it bring you money?
I mean, I don't hurt for it.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this one scene in this episode where Drew Sidora is relentlessly going in on LaToya about her drinking. Now, to be fair to Drew, when they left the night in Nice's party, LaToya was a little wasted, and in the car, Drew's driver/assistant kind of gave her a pep talk saying, listen, girl, you need to change the direction of your life. We need to sober up a little bit. You know, you need to detox. Whatever it was, Drew took it to heart and is kind of making it into a storyline. However, LaToya's actions do show that with a little bit of alcohol, she kind of goes left. Do you think it's fair that Drew's bringing this up in front of the women?
Honestly, look, LaToya's not innocent, and I'm not team LaToya. However, I felt for LaToya in that moment because alcoholism is a serious thing, and to insinuate something like that in front of people, I felt like Drew's intentions weren't pure and they weren't authentic. So that was a little uncomfortable to watch. And I can see why Kenya went with her when she walked away. And I think just the fact that Drew pointed out that she was emotional about it, that she was crying about it, and pointing out the fact that she wasn't drinking during this trip. I don't understand why people are clocking people's drinking if you want to drink or if you don't want to drink. That's annoying. As someone that doesn't drink.
No, that actually is. I mean, it really is annoying. I kind of feel the same way if I go out with my friends and they say, Adam, it's a two drink rule. I'm like, dude, who's counting? I'm 27. I don't need you to count my drink
rule.
Yeah, they say that a 2 drink rule. Even DJ Richie Sky says this, where he says, when I go out in Miami or if I go out on the town, I take 2 drinks because after 2 drinks, I might go left. And it's like, well, okay, if you know your limit, but that's him. He says he knows his limit, you know, so that's a good thing to be aware of. However, I don't want every Johnny, Tom, Dick, and Harry kind of coming around me and telling me, hey, listen, Adam, you need to slow it down on the drinks. I find that to be a little bit annoying. But I also don't run in people's houses, rip them apart, call their husband 10 years older than what he is, and then call the hostess out of her name, just to be fair.
And that's what I said. LaToya's not innocent. However, I just felt like, you know what? Two wrongs don't make a right either. And Drew really, she tries to pretend like she's holier than thou in a lot of different ways when you have problems in your own house. You know what I mean? I didn't love Drew this episode. I haven't loved Drew most of the season, but this episode, she came across as a mean girl, and I didn't think that was cool. And like I said, LaToya is not innocent, but bringing up someone's alcoholism possibility or any insinuation of that was inappropriate.
Okay, that's fair. That's your opinion. So I want to bring up one more opinion and see if they agree with you. Hi, Shan.
Hey
Good
guys.
morning.
I was furious watching that. Furious.
Why?
Couple things. A, like you said a minute ago, don't count my drinks. Mind your business. Count your own drinks.
Okay.
Number two, I feel it's another opportunity that Drew is using somebody else's story for her storyline.
Okay.
I can't stand it. You have enough issues with Ralph. If you need your storyline, pull that crap out. Leave everybody else's business. No, I told you, I got mad. If this is a real issue and you care about her, you don't do it at a dinner table.
On
and
camera.
You don't give flying, you know what's about this lady. So shut up. See, I got mad.
Man, I've never seen you like this.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
know. I
did
was
get
just
a
about
little
to wait
heated.
for Adam to say that. Like, who is Shan?
I'm kind of digging it. But just
Where's
to be
your
fair,
mirror? Oh,
too,
behind you.
I think Shan has it over there. I think
I have the jumbo size.
You have the jumbo mirror of shade. Natalie P said, no one will want to be LaToya's friend. I kind of agree. I feel like at the end of the day, she's going to get the same reputation as Giovanna from a previous season, who liked to be a part of a little bit of everything, but in the most negative way possible. She was kind of picking at everyone for a storyline. And
you know what the difference between Giovanna and LaToya? I feel like LaToya, although she's trying to be friends with everyone, I think LaToya is strong on her own. Unfortunately, she showed this really ugly side because she really is trying to be everyone's friend, and you can't be that on this type of show. And I think Giovanna didn't really connect with the audience. I think there are some LaToya fans.
Okay.
See?
You're a LaToya fan?
Yeah, if I had to pick between Drew and LaToya, easy.
Wow.
Okay, well, I want to bring this
Jan.
I want to bring this up before we end up moving on from this, because since we're talking about LaToya obviously had her big moment at Fallon's house where it was incredibly disrespectful. It was beyond, just to be fair, it was really uncalled for. The whole thing was uncalled for. And she really got the worst side out of Fallon, but it hasn't stopped. LaToya actually exposed the fact that Fallon and her husband no longer follow each other on Instagram. And she was like, girl, I don't know who's paying for your plane ticket to the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, but it's not going to be your husband because you got kicked out of the Empire.
Damn.
I know.
Cold-blooded.
She put that on blast. And
But
she
I kind of
wasn't
like it.
I can't listen. LaToya has that Kenya quality about her, which a lot of people hate Kenya because they feel like she's so messy. But at the end of the day, I kind of think we need a Kenya as a part of the ensemble cast because she keeps things moving.
Yes.
Yeah, agree 100%.
But Kenya, again, just like how LaToya shaded Fallon, Kenya shaded Drew herself. Kenya went on and said that Drew Sidora, after going on here and doing the weather, needed to get a tummy tuck. Now, that's obviously not cute to say to anybody, and it's not women empowering women. And I was actually really pissed off about this because I'm like, that's not fair. You can't shade her like that, not about her weight. But then I rewatched the episode a second time, and I caught two things. One, Drew Sidora was talking about how LaToya should stop drinking because then maybe the puffiness in her face would go away. Okay, that's sort of similar to kind of, you know what I mean? And then she was talking about, I don't know why Kenya wouldn't want to do the booty bounce. Girl, you paid for that booty. Why wouldn't you do the booty bounce? And it's like,
I mean, it was a good line, though. It was a good line.
But that's the thing, though, is like, you can't, don't start it if you can't finish it. And she started it. And I'm sure at home, she probably feels like shit a little bit when Kenya made that comment about her tummy and saying she needs a tummy tuck. That would hurt anyone's feelings.
But Kenya probably, as we can tell by the tweet, Kenya made that after the episode, so she was retaliating, and that's definitely what Kenya's brand is, to retaliate.
And it was a direct response to that comment, if I recall, on Twitter. So I mean, I didn't like it either, because at first when I saw it, I was like, why is she saying this about the damn girl? And then I was like, oh, I see why. Yeah,
no, I agree, but I guess taking it back a little bit, I want to ask you both one thing. When Drew did the room keys and how she kind of did this little game in order to see who gets the best room, I thought it was fun and harmless, especially because the dance is a dance that they celebrate over in New Orleans. The booty bounce, whatever they want to call it.
The twerk.
It's the same thing as the twerk, right? At the end of the day.
No disrespect to my NOLA people.
No, but hey, listen, that's how I got my free drinks on the bar, But no, talking about it, people thought that Kenya was being a little bit of a prude, but then I thought about it and I'm like, well, her daughter is right there. If she doesn't want to do that in front of her daughter, I think that's fair. Shan, you're a mom.
Exactly.
Do you think that's fair? Or do you think it was just harmless and Kenya took it a little too far?
Do you want to see your 2-year-old daughter emulating you shake your booty? I wouldn't. Because at 2 years old, that's what the kids do. They emulate, like, they're literally little puppets. They imitate everything. So I 100% said that in Twitter, etc. And people were like, no, that's BS. It's BS. So I'm so happy to hear you agree with me.
Yeah, I mean,
an example.
Well, that's why I wanted a mom's perspective. But Kempire is not technically a mom. So Kempire, do you have a different perspective?
I could play both sides. Just call me LaToya. But that's why you don't bring children on a girls trip, so you can have fun and do whatever. But initially when I saw, I was like, obviously she's not going to do a booty bounce. Her daughter's in blur in the corner over there. So to me, it made complete sense. And for Drew not to be self-aware enough, like, her daughter is here, let me think of another way. Also, it wasn't very creative. Come on now. We've seen a variety of room selection games. Come on, a booty bounce.
No, that's...
I didn't mind that, but don't ride Kenya so hard. She had to ask for that key 4 to 5 times. Like,
yeah.
Drew, stop it.
She was getting pissed off. And one other good point that Kenya made is it kind of takes away the validation. I don't know how to word this. When all of the women were going after Kenya for not extending the offer to bring their kids, they made it into a big deal because she didn't extend the offer the same to have their kids there the same way that she did. But once Drew extended the offer for all of the women to bring their kids, all of them opted out. And now Kenya's like, how does that make any sense? Why did you guys make this into a big deal, into a storyline in the first place, if you guys weren't going to bring your kids on the second trip?
Keyword storyline.
Yeah, storyline. Exactly. But do you think is that fair to Kenya, or no, you should always be extended the same courtesy?
Go ahead, Shan.
Oh, thanks. I kind of wanted to just finish off the booty bounce thing. We have to remember that Mark is watching everything.
Exactly.
So that's part of it. Like, I'm not saying I wouldn't have booty bounced in front of my child. I'm not saying that, but let's just remember Mark is watching everything. So then about the trip, I mean, I get why Kenya has to bring her daughter, but then why is production permitting it? I think that's sort of more of the question. Like, if we're going to say you don't bring your kid on this trip, or you aren't, the production is making room for Kenya to do that. They're making allowances, so she must be damn worth it.
But I think it's also because, like she said, she feels like she doesn't have anybody she really trusts. Because we have to remember, Kenya doesn't really have family.
Yeah,
she doesn't really have anybody in her corner. Like, Porsha has her mom and her sister. Shamia has a husband. Drew has a whole family and a mom and a husband at home. I mean, the husband might be in Tampa on a beach with some other woman. We don't know. But LaToya has a husband with her 3 kids at home, or 4. Yeah. I don't know how many kids she has. But, everyone kind of has that support, whereas Kenya just has the nanny. And she's not going to leave her daughter at home with the nanny alone. So I think production has no choice. If they want her to film, she probably cleared this at the very beginning and was like, listen, if you guys want me to be a part of this, 1, you have to blur out my kid's face every single time, as per Mark. And then 2, I have to bring her on the trips because I have no one else to watch her.
I mean, I think what it is, especially, let's take it out of reality TV. In any sort of work environment, if you're essential, your employer is going to make everything possible in order for you to work. And I think, especially right now, Bravo doesn't want, they don't want that smoke. You know, they're like, oh, we're not allowing you to, you know, bring your child, but you have no support for your child.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And I'm just
the noise, y'all.
Also kind of, there's no noise.
Oh, perfect.
Just Shan, did you freeze?
Hey.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Before we move on, guys, go ahead, smash that like button. I just wanted to also point out with Kenya, her bringing her daughter, sure, fine. But I also, I don't know. I feel like I want to approach this with kid gloves. I think that Bravo has gotten themselves in so much trouble. The network has gotten in so much trouble over the last 2 years with who they're firing, what they're allowing, who they're allowing to stay on as part of some of these casts after certain tweets and comments. And I feel like Kempire said, you know, maybe this is just one fight that they don't want anything to do with. So they're just going to allow her to do whatever she wants. And she's sort of an OG in her own right. She's been around for a long time.
She is. I completely agree with that. But like I said, I don't think Bravo wants that smoke. And I can see Kenya easily saying to them, if you guys want me to do this, I have to bring my daughter. And she really does not have the support system. I'm not trying to make excuses for Kenya. I'm not Team Kenya when it comes to this. I'm Team Kenya when it comes to making a great show. But she doesn't. Mark is here in New York City running a restaurant. If he was in Atlanta, I could understand. Okay, you're going to have the baby because I have to work. This is a job. It may be a girl's trip, but it's also work.
Okay. Fair. Well, moving on, I did want to point out another relationship that makes absolutely no sense to me, especially after the shade that's happened over the past few years. Even the stupid doormat in front of her house. Marlo and Porsha have had this sort of tumultuous relationship. Marlo has really not gotten along with anybody except Nene, and she even had her riffs with Nene at one point. So she has kind of always been that character, and she'll take it to the next level. She'll get right in your face. She'll go there. But Portia's sitting here on the side crying about Marlo and their friendship. I'm like, when did this happen? Did we miss something on or off camera? Did we not see you guys form a relationship when maybe you guys weren't filming? Because why are you crying over Marlo?
I have a theory.
Okay.
Marlo's the secret keeper. And so she's freaking out that Marlo's going to spill to her worst enemy. So it's fear tears, not sad tears.
Oh, fear tears.
Oh, fear tears. Yeah, I like that. Fear tears. Okay. Well, I was kind of shocked, and I think everybody was, when Porsha pulled her to the side after the dance class, and you know, they were talking, and Marlo just asked her straight up, well, did that happen with Bolo? And Porsha just looked at her like, ugh. And it's like, that's Marlo for you, though. She's always going to go there. She knows how to secure her spot on the show. She's going to make sure that she continues to get her designer clothes. She's going to go there. She's bagging that check. And Porsha was a little bit shocked by that. Marlo would just not be someone who I would trust as a friend. Your team, Marlo?
I have to be. I mean, not always. Marlo can be problematic in a lot of different ways. But I honestly, because look, Kenya's friends with Candy, Kenya's friends with Cynthia, and they're friends with Porsha. I think Porsha is upset that a strong adversary like Marlo is now aligning herself with another strong character in the show. She is insecure. It's not about, look, I don't think it's about secrets or anything like that, because Porsha's secrets, look, we already know what happened with Bolo. At the end,
Bolo signed an NDA. That's what happened.
And that wouldn't be a good look for Bolo. Oh, you're sleeping with the people that you're stripping for? That's not a good look for a stripper.
Oh,
that's not worse. A stripper, that's an escort.
And he's done worse on stage with other people. By the way, I just want to say, there's like people, as soon as this whole thing came out, people were posting different videos of Bolo doing just, anyways, if you guys want to know, you guys look it up yourself. But no, that's kind of a great point though, Kempire, because Porsha really, she's dragged Kenya across the reunion floor. She jumped on Cynthia on the boat and really like went on her, which Cynthia is a lot, or not a lot, but a little older than Porsha, and that was kind of out of line, right?
She's a lot older, like almost 10, over 10 years old. I'm not age shaming, but she is like
10
over 10
a
years.
lot? I think 40 and 50 is about the same thing. No,
Porsha's not 40.
She's like 30,
I think she just turned 40.
Did she?
39 or 40. Like I know she's like right there.
Yeah, but Cynthia's what, 52 now?
Okay, fine.
I'm just saying, I mean, it's not a huge age difference, but it's 12 years, 12, 13, 14 years. Come on now.
Well, no, but if you break down the cast again, Kenya dragged across the floor, Cynthia, the whole boat thing, Candy Burris, the dungeon thing.
And then her friend in the alley thing.
Her friend in the alley thing. I mean, her, like you said, her adversaries, her allies are really they're not strong figures on the show. Shamia Morton is just now starting to get a little bit of camera time, and they're not going to give her a peach. LaToya Ali bounces back and forth between Kenya and Porsha, so Portia's not going to trust her, especially after seeing how much LaToya is willing to let us know.
And she's a new girl.
And she's the new girl. Drew Sidora is trying to forge a relationship with Porsha, but again, she's not strong enough as a lead. So I think, Porsha might be insecure because she really needs Marlo on her side.
And if Nene was there, I think she would be okay with this whole situation. However, I don't think if Nene was there, Marlo would be any sort of friend to Kenya. Marlo is playing this like chess while they are playing it like checkers.
Okay.
Yeah. Team Marlo. This episode.
Okay.
And her confessional look? Adam, do you have that in your notes?
Yes.
I thought it was.
Go ahead.
I mean, I thought to be honest with you, Marlo always delivers on a look. That's one thing that she's known for. She's known for loving her fashions. Do I think that she's a little bit eccentric sometimes by setting up her room every time she goes to a hotel to look like a showroom and whatever else she does? Yeah, she's eccentric, but it's also what she enjoys. It's what she likes, and it's what makes her happy. So I guess I'm going to leave her alone on that. And I'm not even going to touch her rent a boutique, rent clothes thing, even though I got ripped apart in the comments from last time. I did get ripped apart because everyone was like, what do you think it's like when you go to prom and you rent a tux, or when you have a wedding and the guy rents a tux? Like we just saw it on 90 Day Fiance with Yara and Jovi. They were like, bring back the tux the next day and make sure that there's no throw up on it, you know? And I'm like,
they're also assuming that you rent tux.
Oh,
that's a fair. What'd you say?
They're also assuming that you would rent a tux. Well, they don't know your life.
That's true. That's true. But Marlo obviously has to do something for money because she's renting out her fashions. Just to be fair.
But you know what? We also don't know how popular that actually is. I'm sure there are a lot of people, a lot of women that would love to wear Marlo's clothes.
Yeah.
It is a big industry. But anyways, that was last week.
Yeah. Just to be fair, you're right. Well, I do want to touch on I want to touch on another thing really quick. Since we're talking about this episode, right? LaToya has the ability to really piss everyone off. She was asked at dinner that night, or it was kind of lunch dinner, whatever you want to call it, you know, whether or not she regrets the altercation at Fallon's house. And she just said, I said what I said. And then Drew starts asking her about her drinking, and she's like, I'm not drinking it. I'm not drinking. Like, I'm not going to say the word, but, you know, and she just kept going in. And then after the booty dancing class, when they're sitting in the Sprinter and they're waiting for Porsha and Marlo to come out, she started following Kenya's lead by calling Shamia a lapdog. Then Shamia came over that seat like, you better mind your own business and sit down. And I was like, whoop. LaToya, you're pissing off everybody. You're going to get dragged across the New Orleans street, Bourbon Street.
But she wasn't telling a lie. I like Shamia, another Taurus sister. I know I always say it, but she clearly, like, we get it. Porsha is her best friend. However, when Shamia was really cool with with Candy, she really threw her best friend Shamia under the bus. She wasn't supportive of Shamia then. They were having struggles in their friendship then. So, and I think Kenya pointed that out in this episode as well.
No, that's true. And, you know, also Shamia, I think she's trying to be sort of a prominent figure on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because she has been around, like, lurking in the background for a long time now. But she's not, they will never give her a peach. So she knows in order to kind of remain a part of this group, to get that camera time, to be a part of the show in any capacity, she really has to kiss Porsha's ass.
But you know what? Honestly, I don't think Shamia is pressed to be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta because she does have just a natural friendship with Porsha. I think she kisses Porsha's ass because that really is her best friend in real life.
That's how you treat your best friends? You kiss
That's not how I treat my best friend.
Right?
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't either. However, but I do think that's what it is. I don't think it's motivated by just the show.
Well, O Street said, I feel Porsha is only loyal to those who support whatever narrative she is projecting at the moment. Okay. Rock Royalty Creation said she allowed Phaedra to tell lies on Shamia and said nothing. Porsha's not a good friend.
Forgot about that.
And Theo said Shamia has been around for what? Almost 10 years. I still have no idea who she is.
And every time she comes into a scene, it's her twerking. I was like, in this episode, it was all about twerking. And I was like, oh, God, here we go with Shamia twerking again.
I think it's just that. Oh, I'm going to say, okay. So I know. I got the mirror. I always get afraid. Well, no, this is actually a friend of mine. So I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But when I was around filming for another show, a Bravo show, let's just say this, I'm going to kind of talk in circles here. There was a person who really wanted to be a part of the cast. But every time that person came around filming and came into the picture, it was twerk, 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 twerk. And it was always this kind of and yeah, that's what it was. And it was this above and beyond. Like, it was like, you're literally sitting at like a nice dinner in a fancy restaurant. Why are you doing that? But every single time they came to the scene, they were just trying to be that over the top personality. And I think that person thought that would get them camera time and producers would want them to be on the show. Instead, what happened was producers ended up telling this person, listen, you're too much. You're over the top. Even though this is a show and we like the eccentric personalities, it still has to seem like it's natural. And you coming into the screen every 5 seconds and like bouncing your ass doesn't feel natural, especially when you're like in these random, you're at the park, you're walking your dog, you're at the bar, it's like all over the place. It's this, not the wrong time, wrong place. Know your audience. And
that's the most bizarre nervous twitch I have ever heard of.
Yeah, well.
But now I've changed my mind about Shamia. So maybe Shamia really is trying to get herself as a peach on the show.
I think she is. Somebody in here just said, though, I think it was Rock. Let me see really quick. Yes. Rock Royalty Creation said Shamia's husband is not allowing her to be full-time. I've never heard that, though.
I've never heard that either. Because he's allowing her to film.
Prince, so doesn't he have to kind of watch his...
Is he?
I thought she married some Kenyan, royalty. Okay, never mind. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn.
No, it's good for you, Shamia. I mean, if I married royalty, I wouldn't.
Did you see that basement?
Oh,
yeah. Oh, and the decoration.
I love the both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one. Good point.
I didn't have to say anything more.
You really didn't. Someone else just made another good point. Giannis said, did Porsha not fall on the floor laughing at Marlo's wig event even when Kenya marched in? She is loyal to no one, yet expects loyalty in return. That's fair too. Yeah. That's fair.
They're all like that, though.
This goes all the way to the reunion. This beef is not over.
No.
And my bad, he's a Kenyan career banker.
Okay, well, that's a little bit different than a Kenyan prince.
Sorry. Like I said, I was speaking out of turn, but I got my facts together. I don't want to.
Yes, but my thing is, if that is true, and they do have money, and not everyone likes to spread their money, they're also in Georgia. I would expect a little bit more of a grand, home. But okay.
He's a banker. He's smart with his money. He's not going to throw it into accoutrement.
Well, you can throw it into that basement and do something with that basement.
I mean, real estate is an investment.
That's true.
But I heard in Georgia that the basements don't even count in your square footage.
Oh, come through, Shan, with the interesting information.
What are you, just like a wealth of knowledge over here?
I love it.
You have no idea. No, because I'm so fascinated about the differences of Canadian, especially real estate, and never mind. I could go on a tangent of things I've learned that is different from here than there. We don't pay for our water. You guys pay for your water. That's crazy.
Technically, I don't pay for my water.
Oh, okay, there.
I do.
Kim Barr's like, I'm getting screwed on this deal.
I already know that bill's coming at the end of the month.
Oh, no. Yeah, no water here. But okay, I didn't know that about Canada. That's actually a pretty fun little fact.
Sorry, totally sidebar, but yes, I learned that about basements recently because we were talking about her basement, and someone told me, like, Sheree's basement, for example, like that they're not giving enough credit to Sheree because that basement, how much square footage it would be in other states, but in Georgia it doesn't count.
Wow.
Which is kind of ridiculous.
Right? It's still a home, and if it's finished, why wouldn't it count? Anyway, sorry guys.
Maybe we'll get to see the rest of her home because we told none of us were impressed by that basement. So maybe we'll get to see the rest of her home because I'm hearing that allegedly she's going to get an elevated friend of role next season.
Who?
Shamia.
Oh. Becktown says,
how do you really feel?
Shamia doesn't do anything for me. Like, I would rather not be able to stand LaToya and her ridiculous antics than just kind of pass over someone like Shamia. Like, Shamia she's kind of like a shadow to Porsha. Like, she follows Porsha. She does what Porsha says. She kind of is always there to have these little sidebar conversations, but she's really not offering too much to the conversation. Like, Marlo knows on camera, hey, I'm going to question you. Did it happen? Go ahead, say it didn't happen, because that way when we bring receipts to the reunion, I got you. You know, like, Cynthia doesn't have the ability to do that. Or if she does, she hasn't showcased that. And if she has, it's been edited out.
From what I hear, production likes Shamia.
Oh, gosh. Somebody just said it perfect. Coco Nicole, Shamia is beautiful and boring.
Damn. But it's true.
Someone also, Becky asked what a dime piece is. Does anybody want to share what a dime piece is?
Like Empire. A really fabulous, like, sexy, all of those. Pretty much it's someone that's beautiful, sexy, whatever. That's an old term, though. I haven't heard someone say dime piece in forever.
Yeah, it's a
dime
10.
is 10 cents. It's a 10.
It's a 10. All right. Well, I want to wrap this up with, I know we have next week's episode, and I know the hurricane's coming and it gets a little crazy, but I just want to kind of fast forward. Yeah. I want to fast forward a little bit, and I want to go to, I know, I actually just moved to Florida, like in the path of hurricanes every year, which I'm dreading. But I want to fast forward to the reunion and ask you guys, what are you looking forward to most? LaToya and Fallon finally seeing each other face to face after all of these comments.
Fallon at the reunion.
Yeah, Fallon didn't go.
Fallon didn't go?
She's not contracted to be a part of Bravo. She wasn't a friend of.
Oh, poor Adam.
I didn't even. How am I last to know that? Fallon didn't go to the reunion?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently you didn't watch. Look, you didn't watch my video on it.
Fallon said, "Oh, shade."
Touche.
Do you have a mirror too?
I don't. I only have a whiteboard.
Fallon. Wow, that's interesting because in our interview, Fallon was saying how she was really trying to secure a peach and how she was hopeful that next season, if they offer it to her, she'll take it. And it just kind of makes me wonder, well, if they're not even bringing you to the reunion, Mama D doesn't have a contract and they bring her to the Real Housewives of Dallas reunion.
Well, yeah, who knows? I'm sure there's a lot more going on in regards to why she didn't go, but she was on social media because LaToya at one point was saying that she was sick. So it looked like she wasn't going to attend the reunion, but she did end up attending the reunion because she didn't have COVID. But Fallon was like, oh, now all of a sudden she wants to go to the reunion once she finds out that I'm not going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they should have had Fallon come though.
Okay. Not paid by Monique said Mama D is on the payroll. She is on the payroll, but I don't know how much she's getting paid. Anyways, I did want to point out one thing before we go. Kenya did put out there, and we obviously know that at the end of the season, before they start a new season, all of the women get to kind of put in names of people who they think would be a great housewife. And then those people get reviewed and then production kind of interviews, whatever. They go through the whole process. But Kenya pointed out that Drew Sidora has been trying to get on the show for 3 seasons.
Shocking.
That's not shocking to you, is it, Chan? She has a career, though. She actually had an acting career.
Adam, a career. A career in what, Adam?
She was on The Game.
How long ago?
How long ago was The Game, Adam?
She was on Think Like a Man.
How long ago was Think Like a Man?
Oh my gosh, I don't know this girl's resume. She's an actress and a producer. What is she?
I'm
I'm
not going to sit here and, degrade her resume. She definitely is an actress. She definitely has a name for herself. However, her emphasizing in this episode that, I'm trying to, get booked on these different shows. Look, Drew Sidor is not an A-list actress. She is maybe at best C- actress. I'm just saying, look, is she more booked and busy than Kenya in regards to acting? Well, technically, Kenya's on a Netflix show. She has a recurring role on a Netflix show. So technically, Kenya's moving towards C+ list.
Well, and to be fair, I don't know if anybody heard this about Bolo, but Tyler Perry picked up Bolo. So
I bet he did.
That's a little shady, but I actually, when I found out, well, I'm not going to talk about this on here, but picked up, yeah, Bolo's picked up on Tyler Perry, guys. So in case you didn't want to go watch the stripping videos where it gets super X-rated, you're going to be able to see him on one of Tyler Perry's new shows.
Tyler Perry's always saving someone.
Oh, sorry.
It's true. He saved Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. I mean, he's come through. That's why I can never really be mad at Tyler Perry and his terrible movies and terrible writing. But
I gotta go.
The Madea movies are like my favorite movies.
I love them, but when it comes to all of his catalog, let's move on. Let's move on because I don't want to be great because he's done a lot of really great things.
Madea Goes to Jail. That's one of my favorite movies. When she comes in, Sofia Vergara, and she's like, I killed 18 men. She's like, you did what to the damn ATM? She's like, no, 18 men. I'm like, their commentary is so. Oh my gosh.
No, don't get me wrong. I love a lot of the Madea movies and things like that. I even love The Family That Prays. However, the fact that Tyler Perry, and I don't know how we got on this, Tyler Perry's writing is not the best. It's not stellar. I still love what he's doing. I still love the fact that he has this amazing studio in Georgia. However, let's not sit here and act like he is, Shakespeare.
I wasn't comparing him to like Ryan Murphy or someone, but I thought that he was good. Shan, no?
I will not participate in this conversation. The opinions of this panel do not reflect Shan and Van.
Jan with the disclaimer.
Shan, you can't just opt out. What do you mean? No, that's fair. That's fair. Everyone is like, I love his movies.
No, I can't say anything bad about Tyler. I mean, no, I can't. I'm not saying I support and spend my dollars there, but I ain't gonna say nothing bad. You never know who's watching.
Coco,
I'm okay with it. I don't want to be I don't want to be in a Tyler Perry movie.
I do. I want to be in a Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry, if you ever see this, please cast me. I have the worst acting skills ever. Actually, I'll give you another really quick story really quick. When I first moved to LA, I bagged a commercial and a theatrical agent, and I had a manager, and they sent me to the CBS Studios lot to do a reading for MTV's Awkward. And there was a whole line that I rehearsed all night with Jason. This was 7 years ago. I rehearsed it all night, and I was supposed to audition for the waiter role. And it was like, what is your order or something like that? Somehow, as I was walking into the lot, I sent Jason a video. He's like, good luck. And I sent a video thinking I'm repeating the line. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? And I changed it to, what do you mean? And I turned off my phone because I was in the studio, and Jason texted me back and he's like, oh my God, you don't think that's the line, do you? And I didn't see the text message. So I get in front of the people who are casting this, whatever. And they're like, okay, go ahead, read. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, what do you mean? We want you to read the line. And I was so confident in this one line that I left my paper that had the lines on it that I was rehearsing in the car. Like I was confident. I was like, well, it's one line, you know how you have that, whatever. So they said, go ahead, read the line. I was like, what do you mean? They're like, we want you to read the line. I was like, oh shit, is there more? There must be more. So then they said, okay, let's just restart. So I restarted, and then they said it again. They're like, go ahead. And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, what do you mean? It was the worst experience ever. And that's why after that, I was like, you know what, guys? Not going to be an actor, really bad at it.
Don't give up on it, Adam, because the amount of actors that we see that get training as their first. Look at Andra Day. This was her first role, and now she probably will win an Oscar for this role. All it takes is training. Every actor has a story just like that one you told.
Well, they tried to actually give me training, and then I went to go see a coach, and then the coach he tried to bring me out of my shell in front of the whole class, and he's like, okay, so are you gay, straight? And I was like, and I was dating Jason, but hiding it, keeping it a secret, because I was trying to portray like I was a very awkward time. I came from Tennessee and Florida, so it was just a weird time. And he's like, are you gay, straight? And I was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I ended up acting like I was going to the bathroom, getting in my car, and I called Jason, and I was like, this was so uncomfortable. And he asked me if I was gay in front of the whole class, and I just was like, I'm never going back to this. Like, because he wanted to be
around acting for Adam.
Yeah, it was terrible.
That was a great story. We need story time with Adam.
What do you mean?
No, what do you mean? And then what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? I look like a dumbass. Anyways,
hilarious.
I will always have that story for every Thanksgiving, and Jason will never let me live it down. So I had great pizza after that. Never booked a role. Great. Anyways. All right, guys. Well, Shan, Kempire, this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for helping me save this live. At first, I was struggling a little bit because I was a little flustered trying to get it together and worrying about RJ, but I appreciate you both jumping on with me. Before we go, of course, ladies first. Shan, can you tell us where we can find you?
I am on YouTube at Shannon Van, and pretty much all other social medias, Shannon Van. There might be some underscores in between the Shan and the in, but yeah, Shannon Van.
Yeah, guys, and go check out Shan. She does amazing recaps. She always does great videos. You can go in, engage in her community. She also keeps a very positive community. So I just think you guys should go like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because why not? And then
thank you. I really want to get that community tab, so please do.
Get the community. Yes, and the community. By the way, gosh, I'm never going to end this live. I keep doing these would you rather polls in my community
They're
tab,
the best.
And people get so annoyed. They're like, are you just doing this for the algorithm? Well, two things.
One,
yeah, it helps. And two, I literally sit when I'm getting my coffee in the morning, I'm sitting in the car for 15 minutes because I don't want to come back and wake up Jason because he wakes up at a certain time for the gym. So I sit there in the car, and usually I listen to, I don't know, Cardi B, Demi Lovato, something. And as I'm doing it, I make a poll, and I just try to think of whatever. So it's super innocent. And a lot of people comment, none of the above. This is stupid. Well, you don't have to take the poll or comment on it. So
just scroll past.
Yeah, just relax, guys. Just be cool. Don't feel
I personally love them, and I participate in them all because I got an opinion.
Hey,
I love them. Don't
I love them. I just discovered the community tab. What was it, last year? And I was like, oh, there's actually people doing stuff here.
Right? Yeah. I want to do it. So
Emily D. Baker was the one who turned me on to it, because she was letting me know, like, if you catch her, she's always doing polls. And she asked me, she's like, why are you not? She's like, it helps the algorithm. It helps engage with the community. It's fun. It takes 3 minutes to just post
people
it
actually respond.
Yeah. But anyways, whatever.
Well, thanks for showing that and rubbing it in my face, but I'll get there one day.
No, Shan, you're going to get there before you know it.
Definitely.
Thank you, Shan. Thank you, Kempire. This was a lot of fun. You guys turned this live around for me in a big way, so I appreciate you guys.
Anytime.
All right. We'll see you guys soon. And if you guys are around later, we're going live with Femtaro at 1:30. We're going to talk below deck with Jason and Femtaro. And then the last 30 minutes, if anyone would like to call in, you guys are more than welcome to ask any questions except for health, only because it started to change the mood a little bit. And I think that's a lot of energy for Femtaro. So okay.
She gave me a few readings the last couple of weeks. Last week, I'm glad I didn't call in because I probably would have been in tears.
No, I know. She always tells me, at first I was so skeptical. I always say this, but she always tells me stuff. And then it kind of happens. Like, December was one of my worst months ever. October was also a really bad month. And I would ask her, I'd be like, so next month it's going to be better. And she'd be like, oh, Adam. And I'd be like, what the hell? What are you saying?
Don't ask the questions you don't really want to know the answers to.
No, I want to know. I just want to dictate it to be a positive answer. And you can't do that.
Isn't it always positive, really? Even if it seems negative in the moment, it's actually pushing you forward to where you really want to be.
Yeah, if you think about it long term. But if you're like, that's not what, you know what I mean? Yeah, I guess. Okay, all right, guys. This was a lot of fun. I'll see you guys super soon. If you're around later, would love to have you guys. Yeah, I gotta go watch.
Hit it.
Yeah, guys, hit that like button. We'll see you soon. Bye, guys. All right, guys, make sure you go follow Shannon Ban and Kimpire. They both have amazing channels. I fully support them. I think you guys need to go hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, not only for them, but also for me. Why not? And then if you'd like, I post a lot of would you rather polls in my community tab. So go engage, have fun. If you have an opinion, I welcome it. That's what it's there for. And yeah, we'll see you guys really soon. Bye, guys.